What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with another video. And today I want to talk about Avermedia's latest capture card. This is the Live Gamer Ultra S, or if you want to go by the code name, this is the GC553PRO. This is essentially the external version of like the latest card. I have the I believe the GC, I think 573. Which does has it's 4K, I think 120 or 240 with VR pass through. But the key thing about that is an HDMI 2.1, so it is up a notch. This one does have HDR and VRR pass through, HDR and VRR pass through, which is good for those gaming on the PS5, the Xbox Series X and Series S, which the big thing about those consoles is being able to achieve high frame rates, to have the VRR availability to pretty much smooth out those frame rates. And usually when you plug those consoles into a capture card, you lose the VRR ability. With this latest card, you do not lose that, you maintain that, and you are able also to capture VRR as well. So pretty much no pretty much strain on your streams. So the cool thing about this, again, there is a drawback, because this is limited to HDMI 2.0. It does come with an HDMI 2.1, a 2.0 cable. When we open that, we'll be able to see that, which means that the 4K 60, the VR pass-through is limited to 60 FPS. So if you're going to be capturing 4K 60, you want to play at 4K 60. You don't want to play at 4K 120 and then capture at 4K 60. I don't think it'll work properly. I don't think you'll get the VR. I think it will disable the VR at that that resolution and frame rate. But we will test it. We will test it when we open it. But first, we're gonna do an unboxing, and then we're going to discuss the user interface, the software. Avermedia has. All right, guys, let's get into it. This is the Live Gamer Ultra S unboxing, and I probably. Oh no, actually, I do got something. My bizad. I have a screw driver. I'm gonna rip through this, and I probably could have not done that. Don't want to destroy the box. For some reason, I keep all my boxes for some reason. Like, even on stuff I'm probably not going to put back in. But just to kind of give you guys a heads up, this comes in two colors. It comes in white and it comes in black, and they both have like that RGB feature. I think all Avermedia's cards that I've owned all have like some sort of RGB lighting feature, which is cool. My wife complains that my computer, everything around my computer is too bright. That's because of the RGB lighting. We're gonna try to figure out which angle this is open. I think I found it. I think it's right here. Whoop. And here we go. We got it's like a quick setup guide. And below it is that pretty bad boy here. Oh, this is kind of light. The last one I owned from them was fairly heavy. This is light. It has an HDMI port in and out. So your console plugs into the in port. So the HDMI that you usually will that will go from the console to the TV will go here, and then another HDMI port will go from here to your display, whether it be your monitor or to your TV. Whatnot, but it's very light, and I want to make sure, and it should have an LED, some sort of lighting. It's fairly light. I'm surprised. There's probably some stuff behind there. I'm assuming is going to be our cables. So first cable we get is a USB-C. This is common now, the USB-C. To USB-A. It's gonna plug in pretty much here. Boom. That's how you're gonna get your power. And this end is gonna plug clearly into your computer. And then we have an HDMI 2.0 cable. There's nothing, that's the only drawback to this. It's an HDMI 2.0, meaning that we don't get the full 4K 120 pass through. You can probably capture. I don't know if it advertises it. I think it does, and pardon me, because it does say it on the box. You'll get higher frame rates, but it's going to be at a lower resolution. So you can capture up to 240 hertz, 240 FPS, but that's going to be done at like 1080p. Like so, for example, it says 4K 60 HDR VRR. That's what HDMI 2.0 is limited to. That's what it is. And then you can capture up to 240 hertz, but it will be done at a lower resolution. I can almost guarantee that, and that is likely 1080p for sure. So what I'm going to do is we're going to hook this bad boy up. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to set it up. I'll show you guys the program, how it works. My Xbox is going to plug into here. We're going to play some video games and look at the quality and see how it turns out, man. Let's get to it. So the Avermedia card, we got it here, is plugged in into my TV, into the Xbox. We're going to go check out the settings on the Xbox, because what happens is when you're plugged into a device on the Xbox, a capable device, it tells you what the capabilities are. As you can see, my display defaulted to 1080p 60 hertz, which means we are dealing with a 2.0 HDMI, because I always have my Xbox set to 120 FPS at 4K, and this capture card does not support it. So when I change it to 4K, it locks the refresh hertz to 60 hertz. When I try to switch it to 120 FPS, it's going to tell me it's not supported. So it tells me here, this refresh rate isn't supported with your current resolution. So we've set the highest resolution supported by the display of this refresh rate, which is likely going to be 1080p or like 1440p when they do that. So that's going to be a problem for certain games if we wanted to play at 120 FPS at 4K and utilize the capture card. It's that we're not going to be able to use the console as its full feature set, because the capture card is limited to HDMI 2.0. Just to remind you guys, I did actually end up plugging in both of my HDMI 2.1 cords. It doesn't make a difference. That's not a slight to the device. The device does tell you that it does 4K 60 FPS HDR and VR pass through, but it does that at 60 FPS, which is valid for HDMI 2.0, not valid for HDMI 2.1, because 2.1 can do 4K 120 FPS VR, pass through. And they do have a product that is capable of doing that, and that is their Live Gamer 4K 2.1 internal capture card, which I currently have installed on my PC today. But for the purpose of this video, we want to see what this external capture card does, and we're going to give it a try. What's up, everybody? And I am back. We've set up the Avermedia card. We set up the Live Gamer Ultra S. It's plugged into my TV. My LG's and my Xbox plugged into LG. Passed through by the Live Gamer Ultra S. As you've seen in the clip before, because it's an HDMI 2.0, you can only really, take advantage. You lose the 120 FPS, essentially option VR pass through. There's no 120 FPS pass through at 4K. You can get the pass through, but you got to drop the resolution to 1440p to get the 120. Even then, you will not get the VRR, if I'm not mistaken. However, so in a game like this, the game I decided to try this on is Avowed. And Avowed, we know, it has 3 performance modes. It has 30, 40, and 60. However, to enable the 40, you have to have a VRR, and you have to have your settings set up to 120 FPS. I can do that technically, but I'm limited to like the 1440p, and I don't think the VRR is going to enable, if I'm not mistaken. So right now I'm currently in quality mode. Previously, I've tried this game in quality mode with FPS unlocked. Right now, I think because of the capture card and plugged in, it like defaulted to the quality mode, which you can see it feels like kind of choppy, right? Like I'm not like I played this much faster. So we're gonna do what we're gonna do is we're going to adjust the settings, and we're going to render this at in performance mode. And then now, okay. And so we got two modes. So because I don't have it set to 120 FPS, and VR, we only get the two modes. So, and it's going to require a restart. Restart the game. Now, again, the game does support VRR and whatnot. So we're gonna just skip through this and see how the main purpose is to see how this thing, does. And if this is not, ironically, I haven't played this game in straight performance mode. I only played in balance mode. Like I completed my playthrough balance mode, 120 FPS for FPS unlocked, and I felt like it was a good performance. And that, and then if I wasn't playing on Xbox at that mode, I was playing on PC where I would achieve higher. So here we are. We're in performance mode, and let's see what we got here. There we go. Does it hold up? Yeah. Still holds up. There we go. Yeah, so I think this is passable. The only thing is like we gotta try some tests, right? We're gonna try something. Let's see what we got here. So we're gonna go to the settings, and we are going to see where our display takes us. So we know we got VRR. VRR is here. VR is always on. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to try to force 120 FPS. I got 120 FPS. Let's see what happens. If my VR still on, and now we're gonna go back to Avowed. Now, playing Avowed should now allow me to, and I still only got the two modes, right? I'm gonna quit to the main menu and see if it needs like just a quick reset on that. And no, I'm still limited to the two modes because VRR is actually truly not enabled. So this game does require HDMI 2.1 to get that third mode. Even though 120 FPS is capable, it's an option, but for this game is doing it because of VRR and that 2.1 feature. And if you're using this card, again, most case scenarios, I mean, if you're playing at 60, it is what it is. I got accustomed to playing games at the highest frame rate that it offers, unless the graphics option is just completely trash. Now I do have the Avermedia card that does allow me to do that, so that's why it's not that big of a deal. But do I still recommend the Avermedia card? I think so. I would, because again, it depends on who you are. I game on PC sometimes. I'm really invested in my system. But for a starter system, again, just getting in, Avermedia has been my favorite capture cards over Elgato. It's been my default. I've been with them for years. This will be my third Avermedia base capture card since since like sometime in 2018 or so. I forgot when I made the switch from Elgato. The thing though, I did notice, because I use Avermedia frequently, Avermedia has this program, and I think I said this earlier in the video, that they're recording their software for recording, capturing gameplay. It's immaculate. The quality is just awesome. And even I don't use it for streaming much because I think it's too heavy. But for recording, for pre-recorded videos, and I just want to get gameplay at the highest fidelity, I think Avermedia is pretty awesome for that in their RE Central software. However, plugging in the Live Gamer Ultra S, surprisingly, I've tried during my setup, it does not recognize it. It actually is not a part of the RE Central software, where I thought I could just switch from my internal card to my external card, which is the Live Gamer Ultra S, and I could just see it from there. No, I have to use OBS. OBS is the encoder that recognizes it, and that's pretty much, I guess, what they want you to do, which is fine. So that, I just thought it was odd because they have a native software for their products, and it looks like if you was to plug it in, it should just pop up as the option to select from, but it did not. And I'm actually going to show you guys that right now. I'm going to put us in a situation where we're going to share a capture display. I'm going to do a capture share. Just give me 1 second. I do want to show you guys this, and so you can see what I'm talking about here. Display capture. We're gonna do the OG. There we go. So what I'm gonna put myself. Let me just put myself on top here. I'm gonna go to. This is what I thought I would be able to record from. And unfortunately, it is not. Oh my goodness. Let me adjust this so it could fit. There we go. All right, so right here is, I have the Live Gamer 4K 2.1. That is a 2.1 capture card, internal capture card. So it's perfect. I could play any game I want with my settings. My Xbox set to 4K. I had at 120 FPS. If any game offers an unlocked frame rate or 120 FPS mode, I don't have to worry about adjusting my settings, so I can be able to capture. It has the full blown pass through. So this is for the premiere experience. No, this is it. But I assumed that the Live Gamer Pro would just appear beneath it, and I could just select between the two, but I can't do that, unfortunately. So it does not recognize it, and so exclusively I have to use the Live Gamer Ultra S exclusively with OBS, where with the Live Gamer 4K 2.1 I can go to ReCentral and get the highest fidelity of recordings, and I can even stream from here if I wanted to. But again, I think RE Central is a bit heavy because of the quality. But that's my video, man. We unboxed the capture card. We've not only did we unbox it, we set it up. We played Avowed, which is one of those unique games that offers all the graphic modes. I'm gonna just change my scene because we don't really need to see this anymore. We tested Avowed. Heck, we can go and try to test Indiana Jones, but this is a complete 60 FPS experience regardless. So, and what I'm going to do is, before that game launches, I'm going to go into my settings and make sure I get back to 4K 60, because Indiana Jones was a true 4K 60 experience. So in a game like Indiana Jones, you really don't need this is a straightforward experience, so you don't have to do anything special. Avowed was the test measure because it offers those VRR modes, whereas Indiana Jones, again, it's a different experience. It's a locked experience, 60 FPS, looks good on here. Looks good on here. Definitely still a banger. Still a banger. But yeah, do I recommend it? Absolutely. For starters, I do think Avermedia's products is, and I do think it's better than Elgato's. I think Elgato is just always like behind on the tech. They're like VRR options, if it exists, typically come later. I think Avermedia is first to it. So if you're looking for a capture card, or just for streaming or for video production, this card is $180, which isn't too bad. And get yourself a webcam. I have other recommendations in a separate video for that. And a mic, obviously, there's a lot of products out there, and I think Avermedia has mics options and webcams options as well. But they're still king of the graphics cards, not the graphics cards, but the capture cards. Even though I wouldn't be using this heavily, because again, I do have the best version. I prefer capture cards internal. So and they have a high-end a capture card that supports what I'm looking to do. But this is a good option for on the go when I have my Xbox, if I want to hook up my laptop, or if I want to capture gameplay on my my kids' Xbox and whatnot, or if I want to borrow their Series S and do it and do some comparisons. That's great. But check out Ultra Gamer Live Gamer Ultra S. It's available today. You can get it on Amazon, Best Buy, whatever. Shout out to Weapon Wheel Patreon, Avermedia for getting this to us. Again, we're using the software here. It's great. It works. But there's tiers. They have a bunch of devices. It's just that they have a device that I'm currently using that is at my preference. This, again, I think is perfect for those entering content creation, and also those who are utilizing the consoles of the PS5 and PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X and S and whatnot, and they want to cover content or stream that. This is the Live Gamer Ultra S is honestly the way to go, and the model you want to look for that would better support your console would be the GC553PRO. The GC553PRO. This comes in white and black. I'll see you guys on the next video, man. Thank you. As always, I am the best bot. Good night. Or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. I'm out of here. Peace.